Your mind won't let you be happy until you catch this trick. Here's how the mind tricks us. Imagine everyone is running on a treadmill, side by side, millions of people lined up. Some people are sprinting, some people are jogging, some people are taking a break, catching their breath, but everyone is locked in. Everyone is trying to get somewhere. Everyone is trying to achieve something. And when you look around, you think that the people who are running the fastest are the ones who are getting ahead, the ones who are winning, the ones who are successful. So your mind tells you that in order for you to be happy, for you to be successful, you need to run faster. You need to do more. And it says, let's go, let's get after it. And as soon as you get comfortable, the mind says, well done, but not enough. We need to do more. We need to push ourselves to the next level if we want to be happy and fulfilled. And it teaches us, or it tricks us into thinking our success and our happiness is dependent on how fast we run on the treadmill. Now imagine you're currently running on setting 10 on your treadmill, and you look around and other people are running on setting 12, some are on 14, some are on 16. You're like, oh my God, I'm starting to get behind. And the mind starts to create some checkpoints, some things that sound good, some things that sound like the next objective will allow me to feel happy. So you're currently on setting 10 and the mind goes, let's get to setting 15. Once we're at setting 15, oh my God, we'll be up there with the fast people, we'll have so much success, and we'll be so happy, so fulfilled. So that's what you do. You get running faster and faster, and finally, over a long period of time, you finally get to setting 15. And you think, or you thought in advance, this would lead to happiness, some sort of peace, fulfillment, that tick box of success. But when you get there, the mind quickly says, oh, wait a second, did I say 15? I meant 16. Why don't we go for 16 now? That will really be up there with the fast people. That will really be the next milestone. And before you know it, you set up again, going faster to try to hit this checkpoint. And you don't realize that this treadmill goes on for infinity. There is no end number. There is no way to max out. And you end up always trying to get that next objective, that next thing to make yourself feel good. And this is the trick of the mind. It ties achievement, it ties success, it ties our self-worth into the pursuit of going faster and getting more. I've been thinking about this because I caught myself doing it again. I was trying to walk my dog this morning, trying to be as present as possible. The birds were just starting to make some sounds. It was very calm and peaceful, and the sun was just rising in the sky. Beautiful morning. And then my mind started to get active. It started listing all the things I needed to do, all the things I need to achieve, all the things that would allow me in the future to relax and rest. But not today, because today is a busy day. And you've got things to do, things you need to prove. And I've played this game many times. I've been victim of this throughout my life in terms of listening to the mind play this game. So first of all, in my poker career, my mind told me that I needed to keep moving up stakes. Poker has this nice progression of levels. And once you almost complete one level, you can move to the next level where there's harder opponents and harder challenges. So my mind taught me that I needed to keep progressing. So I did. For 6 years, I took on the next highest level over and over till I finally got to the top level. And I was like, awesome, sense of fulfillment. This is going to be so good. Guess what the mind did? It said, no, not quite enough. You might have got to the top level in terms of games to play, but now you need the highest win rate. Now you need to make more money. Now you need to do more and achieve more. So again, I listened to it and try to fulfill my mind that way. Then in the gym, I do powerlifting. And when I get a big PB, I'm pleased with the PB because I know how much effort goes into getting stronger, especially once you get to a more advanced level. However, as soon as I get that PB lift, within 10 minutes, my mind starts thinking about the next lift, the next 12-week program. This was good, but imagine how strong I'll be in 12 weeks. Imagine what it's going to feel like to do the next thing. And before I know it, I've missed the moment, I've missed the enjoyment of the moment, and I'm planning the next goal. Then recently, I've noticed it even with paddle, which I got into for fun. I play with friends and have fun games. I started to get competitive. I started to enter some advanced competitions. And my mind said, Adam, it'd be great if you could win some of these. And yeah, that'd be an amazing achievement if in the future you're good enough to win some of these intermediate events. So I did, and I won some recently. Guess what my mind said? It went, that's okay, Adam. but that's nowhere near enough. You can do so much better. Why don't you go for some of the high level events and try to get better again? So this cycle repeats itself over and over. It looks different. It looks like you're progressing to higher levels, but in some way, you're trapped. You're constantly trying to get to that next thing so that you can relax. You can feel fulfilled. You can feel like my job is done. Now, the trick of the mind is this. It doesn't know how to arrive. It only knows how to chase. It always chases the next moment, the next thing, the next success, the next victory. It can never be satisfied in the current moment. Now, to be clear, on some level, I like this part of me. I like growing. I like pushing myself. I like striving to achieve more and to see what I'm capable of. But if I'm not careful, I can easily fall out of balance. I feel that tension of having to try to prove myself, of having to try to become something or achieve something in order to feel enough. That subtle anxiety that creeps in when I think that peace will only arrive once I've achieved the next thing. Now, I've observed that most people are out of balance in one of two ways. Either they completely sacrifice the present so that they can achieve things in the future. They live in this constant state of tension, which is disguised as ambition, and they always want more, always want to achieve more, the go-getters who go after the world. But it's always coming from this tense place of needing to prove something. Then on the flip side, you have the other people who avoid discomfort. They avoid doing hard things. They almost class their lack of effort as being present, enjoying the moment. But you'll find they spend all the days scrolling, they spend the time distracted, doing things that are short-term pleasures, and they tell themselves they're being present, but really they're just avoiding life. Neither path leads to freedom. Seeing the mind's tricks. What I've come to see more clearly is that you don't change the mind's patterns. Just because you're aware that the mind likes to seek things and you can see it for what it is, it wants more, it wants to achieve things, it wants to validate itself by doing things in the world, and it can never be satisfied. Just because you see that, it doesn't mean it goes away. The pattern still remains. The drives are still there. The pulls on you to want to do more, to validate yourself, stay strong. However, because you can see them, because you can almost see through the mind's tricks or illusions, you're not victim to them. It's just activity of the mind. You're almost a step back from the mind, watching it come up with all these things that are going to make you happy. And you sit and you nod along and go, yes, of course it will. But you know it won't. You know the enjoyment comes from the moment. And what I found for myself when I started to really understand my mind at a higher level is that most of my enjoyment is just gains from the day-to-day moments, from in the pursuit of something, from doing the thing that I've set out to do. So rather than the mind telling me that I need to do this to get somewhere, just the art or the enjoyment of doing the thing itself is everything. The training session, just lifting the weights, is everything. The shooting of this video, regardless of its views, is everything. The writing of a blog or an article, the process of going through that and being involved in it is everything. And when you can start to live more that way, realize the mind will still try to trick you that you need to get somewhere, and realize, actually, I'm already here. The moment I'm in is already enough. The things I'm doing are already complete. Everything changes. You might still show up in similar ways, but now you're not victim to the game. Now you're not just on autopilot, just doing what your mind suggests you to do in any moment. If you're still caught in the mind's trap, try playing the mind at its own game. Let's say your mind tells you that you need a certain amount of money to be happy. Let's say it's 100,000. Don't dismiss that. Take it seriously. Push on it. Ask the mind, why 100,000? Really flesh out in a journal what this money will do, how it will change your life, how it's going to create this nice future scenario where all your problems just go away. Let the mind tell you a nice story, a nice narrative. If you see through the illusion during that process, great, you can go no further. But let's say that the mind makes a very logical, good argument of why this 100,000 will solve all your problems. Write it down, write 100,000 will be where I feel happy, fulfilled. And now you go to work and you get to that point. You play the mind's own game. Whatever needs to happen for you to get the 100,000, how hard you need to work, over however long is worth it, right? Because this is for your happiness, your fulfillment. However much effort you need to go, you do it, all right? So let's say you play the game all out, full out, I'm gonna get to that 100 grand. And over years, you finally get there. Now, this is the key part. When you get to that goal, the mind will then do something very tricky. It will very quickly say, oh, what, I said 100 grand? No, I meant 1 million. 100,000 is nowhere near enough. Given current prices, we need 1 million. We need more. So it will move the goalpost without you even realizing. And you will logically go, okay, oh yeah, that makes more sense. Maybe I had undershot. When I first set the goal, it wasn't enough. And then before you know it, the new goal is locked in. You tell family, you tell friends, you logically relate, it all sounds reasonable. Oh yeah, actually I do need more. Actually I do need that next goal. And before you know it, you're on the next pursuit. So here is the lesson. You've quickly seen that the mind tricked you. The mind told you that your future happiness, fulfillment was going to be at this checkpoint. You got there and the mind removed the goal. It moved the goalpost even further. And it will do this over and over again. When you finally get to the point where the goalpost is far enough, the mind then goes into fear mode. Okay, well now we need to keep it. Now we need to make sure we don't lose it. Now we need to make sure we don't get rid of it. So I'm sure there's many billionaires, probably majority, who have many sleepless nights worrying about not having enough money in the future, worrying about holding on to their assets. And for us who aren't billionaires, we couldn't relate to that. We're like, how? You've got $1 billion. Why on earth would you worry? But the mind doesn't work that way. The mind always wants more. It always wants to keep what it has. And this is the trap. Now, you might need to play this game many times. You might need to play it with your career. You might need to play it with relationships, with your health, with your fitness, and win these games on some level, or at least satisfy the mind's need for more, need for an achievement. But once you start to do it, and you start to win these games with the mind, you realize the mind lied to me again. The mind told me happiness was going to be there. It wasn't. It told me fulfillment was going to be there. It wasn't. It told me that I was going to arrive at a destination where I could relax and be peaceful. Here I am, and it feels exactly the same. And this is where you can start to step off the treadmill. Jim Carrey once said, I think everyone should get rich and famous and do everything they ever dreamed of so they can see that's not the answer. And on many levels, he's right. You don't see the trick until you've played it out. You don't see the lie until you arrive at the finish line and see that nothing's changed. Now, the goal isn't to silence the mind, it's to disbelieve its urgency. That's the shift. From chasing to seeing, from striving to choosing. The mind is just a machine, built to chase, built to seek, built to solve problems. You don't have to fix the mind, you just have to see what it's doing. Once you realize there's no finish line, the race loses its grip. To go back to our treadmill analogy at the start, it's now stepping off the treadmill. You look around at you and everyone's running all out, really trying to get somewhere. And you look at them and you smile. You become one of those rare people who steps off the treadmill. You can still run if you want to. You can grow, you can build stuff, you can compete, but it's now on your terms, not the mind's. You might come back to the treadmill and run for a while. Then you might return to relaxing and enjoying yourself, because now you know what the game is, and you play it for fun when you want to. There is no finish line. There never was, and you were free the whole time.